I'm going to attempt to try to show you how to get the most out of your farms, each one individually. You do this each one and you'll grow more crops, more trees, and more flowers than you've been able to do when you do the single planting layers. To start with, every time you come on the farm, make sure everything's cleared off for the whole farm itself, except for your buildings. It's hard to put the buildings back on later. If you got buildings, try to have also the green edit freestyle too. That way you can move your buildings around anywhere you want. You want them out of the way to be able to make your plots. Now if you got too many buildings, you can move them all down here, and with this tool you're also able to stack them on top of each other and get them out of the way. Make you more room to be able to make your plants. In this case here I don't have that many buildings, so I'm going to move them way out to the outer edge. You have to have them on the very edge so you get your most plots. If you leave them down here or down here, that's the area you cannot make plots at, so put them at the very outer edge. Now the next thing is to be able to plant your most plots, and in order to do that, I have to open up at least 3 browsers. People may have a different trick to this than I do, but this will give me 3 times the amount of crops per farm. So number 1 is take it offline. You have to have it offline in order to be able to open the same farm up again in another browser. Number 2 is to make sure you have it set for make this my default farm. Make sure you get the little check mark in there. Then when you hit the green, it now makes it default, so it comes right back to it. Now you have to open up 2 more browsers. One up here and one more right beside it. Go back to the second one that you opened. Drop down here if you've got it in Google where it shows you farm town. If not, hopefully you've got it bookmarked somewhere. Sometimes in your bookmarks, they will be put up here like down here. I have it for farm town on Facebook. I can click that. That'll bring me right back to the same farm. Sometimes it takes a second to load. Once the farm is loaded, as well as your neighbor's faces show down below, like that, go back up here and put this one offline also. Now go back up to your third browser, third tab, and open up. I use this down here because I do it so much often for planting and stuff. And open up the same farm again for the 3rd time. Excuse me. Now as it loads, once it's fully loaded, and your neighbors are loaded, again, also go offline. Now go back to your very first one. Once you open your first browser again, go down to your tools, find your planting tool, and I'm only going to do this in a hurry. You guys can do this any way you want to do it, but later on. I'm just going to show you a quickie. You grab a plow tool, you bring it up to the very outer edge and up until it touches your building. You always want to have that little spacing on the top edge. That way you can put more buildings there later. Plant it, go back down, butt back up again. If you overlap, it'll turn red like that. Plant it again. Now, we got a problem down here of too many places that aren't, you're not going to be able to do it. But I'm not going to worry about that right now. You can figure that out in time by figuring what tools you want to use. Now, by doing that, I now have all them in there. I can change tools, and we can possibly try the 9. No, see, that's too big. So you'd have to change down to the 4. Now with the 4, I can go up here, plant it, drop down, plant it, drop down, plant it, drop down, plant it. You know, it takes time to get used to the controlling of everything to get it just right, and I'm in a hurry here, but I don't know how much time I have. I'm going to plant it, and plant it. And check the bottom row and see, and as you can see, you can also get it in there one more time. Plant it. Just make sure you have them butted up. As long as they butt up in all the corners, they'll all go in. Now, like I say, in time you'll want to practice to know what the biggest tool you can use to get it down there, and you'll know that you can delete some of them. Now once this one's all filled in, open your second tab. Now here's the critical point of it. When you go back in the planet, this time you still want to stay butted up to the buildings, I mean, where it turns red, but you want to go to the outer edge and then come back one away from the outer edge. See that green spacing? One away. Don't go two. If you go one there, that'll line up again. But if you go two, you'll be offset. You don't want that right now. You just want to go one. And again, you can go one more. The two works all the way down. That's good. Now, you do the same thing again there. Again there. And again here. Now, when you go up here, it fits again in there. Perfect. Go down there. Go down there. And go down there. Now, this time, you notice, you have a green edge down here, which you also have on the first one, as well as you got a green edge on the outside there, but you have a bigger green edge here. And now you got a green edge on the second one, but on the first one, there's no edge. Now go to your third one. With the third one, you do the same thing again. Grab your tool. But this time, again, if you remember last time you went up where you butted, and you came down one away from the edge. This time, you want to come down two and do it. And you'll see in the end results why you have to do this. And again, it makes it perfect. So I should have used this tool the first time when I showed you. And fill them all in. Okay. One more time, another whole set of rows. Again, remember it's 1, 2 for the third browser, or third tab. And there you have it. Now, your farm will be able to grow 3 times the amount. Now, in order to do this, you want to hit Save Pendings. Save Pendings for number 2, and Save Pendings for number 1. Now, close them. Number 1 tab out. Close the number 2 tab out. And on the third time, go down and refresh the same farm. Now when you look at it, you see you got all these little lines. That is now going to be 3 times the amount of planting on one farm. Now, I'm going to continue this as I go along here now. If I want to be able to put trees in here, flowers in here later, I'm going to have to still stay offline up here. Open the second tab again. Go to the same farm. And once it loads, this one, as every time they come back on, they'll always be online. You always got to remember to take them and put them offline in order to continue. So again, go offline. Now open your first tab, and now we're going to plant. So we're going to plant something that's going to last us, take a while to do, so we can come back to it later. So let's see, we can do the wheat. It takes 2 days. Oops. It takes 2 days to plant. Now I find it so much easier to go on a full screen. It makes the picture bigger and easier to find. I always start from the bottom left corner. Go up as big as my tool will go. You notice you're missing one line down here. Drop it back one. Also stay 3 from the outer edge. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. Click the third one. Move your tool around so the yellow lines show up. And then go back up to the second one. And then go to the first one. Now again, drop down, find out where it left off. Start with 3, 2, 1. Now that whole side's finished. Go up here, find your 3, 2, 1. Drop down here, 3, 2, 1. Now, wait till all those little lines disappear here. Drop it back down to low screen. Now go back up to your second one, open it up. As you notice here, there's nothing planted, but yet you're still on the same farm. Again, now because you want to put trees and stuff in, you want to go to something that's the quickest growing, which is 2 hours. The other one was 2 days. So you click that, and get the raspberries. Again, spread it out until you see you're getting your maximum fill. And 3 away. 1. Move your tool around. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now go back up here. 1, 2, 3. And drop down here. 1, 2, 3. Now the deceiving thing is, because now you won't know you got a plant crop under there, go up here to find your little bulldozer and take off the one in the very corner. Comes, do you want to delete the raspberry? Say yes. Now that one just disappeared. I don't know, it looks like we just lost it, right? But watch this. You hit your pending save. Open your first browser. Pending save. Close the first browser. Refresh the farm again. The same farm. Once it's loaded, now if you look carefully in that corner, you'll notice you got that one back in, but now it's called wheat, whereas the other one was raspberry. Now, I'll finish up with a second movie later on and show you how to go. Make sure you come back when your raspberries are done in 2 hours. That way you can harvest all the raspberries. When you harvest them, there'll be a harvest field there. If you delete the harvest fields, you can then add trees, buildings, flowers, anything you want on the screen while it's still green, which I'll show you in another movie. Okay, well, happy farming, getting at least 3 times the amount of crops per farm. Goodbye.